Today, we're unveiling the 10 most dangerous places in the United States of 2024. So, without further ado, let's get started. Number 10. New Orleans, Louisiana. New Orleans, a city pulsing with life but shadowed by a crime rate that towers over the national average by a staggering 161.8%. The vibrant streets tell a tale of contrast, where the violent crime rate of 1444 per 100,000 individuals eclipses the national figure by 290.5%. Despite a commendable 40% drop in homicides in 2024, the city grapples with a violent crime rate of 14.46 and a property crime rate of 46.52 per 1,000 residents. Echoes of a turbulent past linger, with the mafia's influence dating back to the Civil War era. Today's NOPD faces a Sisyphean task, battling crime with limited resources in a city where over 18% live in poverty. Yet, hope glimmers with initiatives like the Office of Gun Violence Prevention and youth programs aiming to rewrite the narrative. Quick overview. Violent crime rate, 14.46 per 1,000 residents. Property crime rate, 46.52 per 1,000 residents. Homicide reduction, 40% drop compared to previous years. National comparison. Crime rate exceeds national average by 161.8%. Violent crime national comparison, 290.5% higher than the national average. Poverty impact. Over 18% of residents live in poverty, influencing crime rates. Law enforcement challenge. NOPD operates with limited resources. Safety initiatives. Programs like the Office of Gun Violence Prevention are in place. Number 9. Chicago, Illinois. Chicago's crime landscape presents a complex tapestry where the homicide rate, once soaring, has begun to descend from its peak in 2020 and 2021, while assaults have lessened due to proactive community policing. Yet, theft, particularly vehicle theft, stubbornly bucks the trend with an uptick. When cast against the national backdrop, the city's crime rate stands 58% higher. The echoes of history resonate, with crime waves swelling in the late 20th century, notably in 1991. Today, law enforcement grapples with the dual challenges of gun violence and the imperative for equitable justice. The community's fabric bears the scars of persistent violence, fostering a climate of wariness and a fractured trust in the police. Visitors are counseled to navigate the city with caution, planning their journeys with care. Chicago's geography, marked by segregation and economic neglect, intertwines with its crime narrative, while economic indicators like unemployment cast long shadows over safety. Overview. Violent crime rate, 5.38 per 1,000 residents. Property crime rate, 31.76 per 1,000 residents. Chances of becoming a victim of a violent crime, 1 in 1869. Homicide rate, decreasing trend from previous years. Overall crime rate, 58% higher than the national average. Economic factors, high unemployment linked to crime rates. Law enforcement challenges, gun violence, and need for fair policing. Community initiatives, youth programs, and neighborhood improvements. Number 8. St. Louis, Missouri. St. Louis stands out with its high crime rates, notably 3 times the national median, with a stark 1 in 68 chance of becoming a victim of violent crime. This city's turbulent history of westward expansion and industrial decline has left a lasting imprint on its safety landscape. Despite the valiant efforts of local law enforcement, who face unique challenges in a city marked by racial segregation and economic inequality, the community feels the weight of crime's impact. The dense urban environment and economic hardships, such as high unemployment, correlate strongly with the prevalence of crime. However, there's a glimmer of hope as St. Louis embraces preventive measures like community policing and federal initiatives aimed at revitalizing the city. For those braving the streets of St. Louis, practical safety tips are essential, and the future holds a cautious optimism for a safer tomorrow. Overview: homicides, 21% reduction compared to the previous year. Shooting incidents, 24% decrease. Shooting victims, 23% fewer than the previous year. Crimes, include serious offenses like homicide, sexual assault, and theft, down by 22%. Law enforcement, St. Louis Metropolitan Police Department's efforts, along with the Office of Violence Prevention, have been pivotal. Community policing. A proactive approach has contributed to the positive trend. Crime prevention strategies, targeted investments, and initiatives are showing effective results. Number 7. Kansas City, Missouri. Kansas City is grappling with a violent crime rate of 14.83 per 1,000 residents, far surpassing the national median. With 167 homicides, 378 rapes, 1,118 robberies, and 5,890 assaults, the city's streets tell a tale of ongoing strife. Property crimes add to the distress, with 48.35 incidents per 1,000 residents, including thousands of burglaries and thefts. This city's turbulent history with crime dates back to the early 1900s, evolving from organized crime to today's urban challenges. Despite innovative policing strategies and community-led initiatives like Aim for Peace, economic hardships and urban density continue to fuel the crime rates. Yet, there's a glimmer of hope as experts cautiously predict a safer future. Overview. Violent crime rate. Kansas City has a violent crime rate of 14.83 per 1,000 residents, which includes 167 murders, 378 rapes, 1,118 robberies, and 5,890 assaults. Property crime rate stands at 48.35 per 1,000 residents, with 2,896 burglaries, 15,497 thefts, and 6,230 motor vehicle thefts reported. Comparison with national averages. These rates are significantly higher than the national averages, with Kansas City's violent crime rate being more than 3 times the national median. Chances of becoming a victim is 1 in 67, and for property crime, it's 1 in 21. Number 6. Oakland, California. Oakland stands out in the 2024 landscape of urban crime, grappling with a 37% surge in robberies and a staggering 45% increase in vehicle thefts. This city's struggle with safety casts a stark contrast against national averages, with violent crimes towering at 197.13% above California's and 226.32% over the U.S. average. The historical ebb and flow of crime since the peak in 1992 saw a decline until 2000, followed by a steady rise. Today, law enforcement, amidst unique challenges, is striving for efficacy with new strategies. The community's heartbeat echoes through initiatives like UC Berkeley's Possibility Lab, seeking to transform policy through lived experiences. Amidst the urban density and economic strife, with unemployment as a significant factor, Oakland's residents navigate their days with caution, employing practical safety measures. The city's Department of Violence Prevention pioneers a public health approach to crime, fostering hope for a safer tomorrow. Overview. Violent crime rate, 15.28 per 1,000 residents. Property crime rate, 65.50 per 1,000 residents. Robberies, increased by 37%. Vehicle thefts, jumped by 45%. Law enforcement, implementing new strategies to tackle the rise in crime. Community efforts. Initiatives like UC Berkeley's Possibility Lab are actively working towards policy change. Safety measures. Residents are advised to stay vigilant and secure their belongings. Economic influence. High unemployment rates contributing to crime. Number 5. New York City in New York State. New York City, where the vibrant streets tell a tale of resilience against crime. With a projected slight decrease in homicides and violent crimes, the city's pulse beats stronger, outpacing the national murder rate of 6.3 per 100,000 with its own safer statistics. The NYPD, with a 76% clearance rate for murders, battles the surge in shootings, while the community grapples with the effects of 2019's bail reform. Yet, hope glimmers as 1% of streets account for 25% of crime, pinpointing where the city's vigilance must focus. Economic strains weave into this complex tapestry, linking higher unemployment to increased crime rates. But New York is not a city that sleeps. It's one that acts, with community crime prevention programs and initiatives like the Cure Violence model carving paths to a safer tomorrow. As 2024 unfolds, experts anticipate a modest decline in serious crimes, painting a future where the city's lights shine brighter and its streets promise more safety for all who tread them. Overview. Violent crime rate, 5.21 per 1,000 individuals. Property crime rate, 19.6, 2 per 1,000 individuals. Chances of becoming a victim of crime, 1 in 3,198. Homicides, expected to continue a slight downward trend. Law enforcement. NYPD's efforts remain robust, with a focus on improving clearance rates. Economic influence. Economic challenges persist, with a correlation between higher unemployment and crime rates. Community initiatives. Programs like Cure Violence aim to further reduce crime rates. Number 4. Baltimore, Maryland. Baltimore stands as a city with a complex tapestry of crime and community. With a violent crime rate of 1,922 per 100,000 residents and a property crime rate that suggests a 1 in 30 chance of victimization, the challenges are stark. Its crime rates soar above the national average, painting a picture of urgency and concern. The city's history is marked by the shadows of drug-related gang activities and a criminal justice system grappling with racial disparities. Law enforcement strategies are evolving, aiming for precision and rebuilding trust within the community. Initiatives like Safe Streets Baltimore are beacons of hope, demonstrating that community-led interventions can indeed turn the tide on violence. Residents and visitors alike are urged to remain vigilant, embodying the adage of safety in numbers. Baltimore's urban heartbeat, with its dense neighborhoods and economic disparities, pulses with challenges that contribute to its crime statistics. Yet the city is not without its guardians. Preventive measures and economic strategies are in place, striving to mend the fabric of a community yearning for peace. As we look at the future, there's cautious optimism with a decline in homicides and a commitment to addressing the root causes of violence, suggesting that Baltimore's story is one of resilience and potential transformation. Baltimore's narrative is not yet fully written. It's a city on a path to reclaiming its safety and serenity. Overview. Violent crime rate, 15.55 per 1,000 residents. Property crime rate, 32.81 per 1,000 residents. Chances of becoming a victim of a violent crime, 1 in 644. Homicide numbers, 287 in 2022, marking an increase from the previous year. Number 3. Birmingham, Alabama. Birmingham stands out with its high crime rates, notably higher than national averages, reflecting a complex interplay of socioeconomic and geographical factors. The city's history is marked by significant events that have shaped its safety landscape, and despite the challenges, the Birmingham Police Department is actively employing innovative strategies to enhance law enforcement effectiveness. The community's resilience is palpable, with locals sharing personal stories that underscore the urgency for change. As urban density and economic disparities, such as a 24.7% poverty rate, continue to influence crime trends, Birmingham is countering with preventive measures and community policing initiatives. With a downward trend in crime rates since 2020 and ongoing investments in violence prevention, there's a cautiously optimistic future outlook for Birmingham, suggesting a potential for safer streets ahead. For those in or visiting Birmingham, staying vigilant and informed is key, and the police department's app offers a direct line to officers, enhancing personal safety in this dynamic urban landscape. Overview: Violent crimes. There were 152,245 violent crimes reported in the 2022-23 period. Homicides. As of April 22, 2024, 45 homicides have been reported in the city. Crime trend. Birmingham had a record high of 150 homicides in 2023. but the city has averaged 12.1 homicides per month in 2024, which is a slight increase from the previous year. Law enforcement. The Birmingham Police Department has identified suspects in 24 cases, arrested in 22, and charged in 18 crime locations. Most incidents occurred at private homes, businesses, and on the streets, with a few cases of bodies found dumped. Number 2, Memphis, Tennessee. Memphis stands out in 2024 as a city grappling with crime rates that soar above national averages, with a violent crime rate of 2,420 incidents per 100,000 residents and a property crime rate of 7,165 incidents per 100,000 residents. This city, once dubbed the murder capital of the world, has seen its law enforcement evolve with new training and community policing initiatives. Yet it continues to face unique challenges due to its dense urban core and economic hardships like poverty and unemployment. Despite a troubling increase in property crimes, there's a glimmer of hope as violent crimes have seen a slight decrease. Community efforts and crime prevention grants are actively seeking to turn the tide, aiming for a safer Memphis. For those living in or visiting Memphis, staying vigilant, especially after dark, and securing valuables are essential safety tips. As Memphis confronts its past and present, the future holds a cautious optimism for improvement in safety and security. Overview: homicides. As of April 2024, Memphis has reported 98 homicides, with 69 classified as murders. Violent crime rate. Memphis has the highest violent crime rate in the country, with 2,420 incidents per 100,000 residents. Property crime rate. It ranks third in property crimes with 7,165 incidents per 100,000 residents. Overall crime trend. There has been a 13.9% decrease in overall crime in Memphis from January to March 2024, compared to the same period last year. Safety concerns. Despite the presence of tourist attractions, Memphis is not considered safe due to high crime rates, including theft, vehicle break-ins, and violence. Socioeconomic factors. High poverty and unemployment rates, along with high gun ownership, contribute to the city's safety challenges. Number 1, Detroit, Michigan. In Detroit, the current violent crime rate stands at 20.59 incidents per 1,000 residents, with a notable downward trend attributed to effective community-led initiatives. Property crimes have seen a slight uptick, particularly in carjackings, yet Detroit's crime rates remain significantly higher than both national and state averages, 179.93% and 253.81%, respectively. Despite its historical challenges with intense violence, law enforcement strategies focusing on gun violence reduction and a $10 a.m. investment in community policing have fostered a transformative decline in crime. Economic and geographical factors play a role, with urban density and poverty influencing crime rates, but ongoing economic revitalization efforts offer hope. For those in or visiting Detroit, staying vigilant, using reputable transportation, and avoiding high-crime areas are essential safety measures. Detroit crime overview. Violent crime rate, 20.59 per 1,000 residents. Property crime rate, 28.227. National comparison. Higher than U.S. average, 179.93%, and higher than Michigan average, 253.81%. Historical context. Known for intense periods of violence, recent years show a transformative decline. Law enforcement strategy, targeted gun violence reduction, investment in community policing, community initiatives, ShotStopper program, $10M in violence prevention. Result, up to 44% crime reduction in some areas. Economic influence, high poverty levels, historically linked to crime. Economic revitalization efforts underway. Geographical impact. Urban density correlates with higher crime rates. Safer neighborhoods found in outlying areas. Safety measures. Vigilance and reputable transportation recommended. Avoidance of high crime areas, especially at night. Future outlook. Historic decline in violent crime rates. Positive trends with continued community and law enforcement efforts. Let's discuss the future safety of these places. Will they become safer, or will they remain as they are today? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button and like the video. You can also check out the video on the left about the declining population states in the U.S. and on the right about the deteriorating conditions in European countries.